Hi, my name is Mitchell Light. I'm one of the corporate trainers here at Centric Business Systems. Today I'm going to be doing a training of the Ricoh IM series. This current device that I have here in our showroom is a 2500. So anything above a 2500, I'll be going over some of the differences that you'll see with your device. So what I'm going to do is I'll start with the hardware, and then I'll dive into the operational panel, show you some of those features that you have, some settings that can really enhance your workflow, make life a little bit easier. This device that I have in the showroom also comes with an external stacking finisher, so if you don't have that, don't worry. So just starting off up top, we have our automatic document feeder. This is holding 100 sheets for us. On any model higher than a 2500, it's going to be holding 220 sheets. If you do ever run into any misfeeds or jams, it's going to tell you here on the screen where to go. Otherwise, up top is just one of the first places to find them. The nice thing with the Ricohs is they're ran on this reverse friction feed belt, and Ricoh's the only one that has that. So what that's doing is getting an accurate pull from the center of the paper, which is the strongest part of the paper, and it's pulling just like an ATM. So it's pulling one way, pulling the other way. So that friction feed belt is going to get a really good grip on your paper, so less likely for misfeeds and jams. Under here we have our scan glass. We're going to be able to scan up to 11 by 17 all the way down to ID card size. There's a function on here with your Ricohs that can actually get an ID card where it's getting the front and back of your card and it's putting on one side of the sheet, so it's just a lot easier to file and store. You have your scan head here. If you're noticing this purple cloth, this is just an easy way to just clean off your scan head if you notice that there's any fuzzies on it or anything like that. If you are ever scanning larger sized books, you have a book hinge here, so if I rest my hand here and then pull down, I can scan larger sized books, larger sized documents, and then I can also close this down more fully, so I'm limiting that light from getting in, so you're not going to get those grayed out images on your scans. And then this just lifts right back up into place. Off here to the side, we do have a bypass tray, so this is where we're going to be doing any of our specialty type media, envelopes, labels, heavier card stocks. The nice thing about the bypass tray, especially if we are using that specialty media, it's bypassing everything in the device, and it has a straight paper path that's coming out the other side. So you're not going to have to worry about that curling or wrinkling of your specialty media. Again, if you do run into any misfeeds or jams, it's going to tell you on the screen exactly where to go and the process of having to clear that jam. There's a latch right here. So this pulls down, so this is another access point that you have. So anything blue in the Ricoh, we can touch. So Rita, if you want to come around a little bit just so I can show. So it will tell you on the screen to pull down B. You'll pull down B, you'll find your paper. And it'll also be lit up with an LED light. So you're going to be able to know exactly where that misfeed might occur. Behind here is your front cover. So this is where your toners are going to lie. You're ran on cylindrical toners, which means that their toners are spinning at all times, so it's not getting clumped up. These are super easy to change. It's as easy as pulling the old one out and putting the new one in. This current device that we have in the showroom is outfitted with 4 paper trays. The first one is going to be designated for 8.5 by 11. And then the following 3 can go all the way up to 12 by 18. So it'll allow for an 11 by 17 full bleed. Once we have these green guides adjusted, I'm now telling the size that I have in there and also the orientation. The nice thing about these trays is they're fitting 550 sheets of paper, so if you have a couple pieces left over, you can just throw the whole ream in there. You really don't have to count it out. Off to the side here of the panel, you do have a USB port and an SD card slot, so that's really nice. If you have a thumb drive, you can actually print from or scan to the thumb drive. So if somebody's out of the office that day, they have files on their computer that you can't get access to, if they save that to that thumb drive, you'll be able to access it here at the panel. And in the event that you do have an external stacking finisher with your unit, this specific one is a 1000 sheet stacking finisher, and it also has saddle stitch here. So that's what's going to allow you to do your booklets. It's going to staple up to 15 sheets at a time, which allows for a 60-page booklet. So it's going to be giving you that saddle stitch staple down the center. If you are just using your stapling option, it'll staple up to 50 sheets at a time, either from copy or from your computer. So just to show you where you can change those staples, if you open this here, so this will pull out, and then Reed, if you want to get over here just a little bit, there's an S that indicates where your staples are at. So to the right of the S is your staple cartridge, so this pulls out, and then this is going to be your staple cartridge. So the way that we change this is just by squeezing right here where it says push. We'll lift up, we'll pull out the old staple cartridge cardboard, and then we'll put in the new staple cartridge, and then slide this back down, and then this will go right back into place. And then we close that. So getting into our touchscreen panel, this is going to be a 10.1 inch touchscreen panel that's ran on Android software, Android technology. So this is going to be working just like your phone or tablet. Super easy to use, super customizable. I can scroll over. I can customize this home screen however I want. If I want to add a background picture or your company logo, you can most certainly do that. If I want to move these icons around and I want to customize this home screen, also, there is an option for you to add different widgets and icons out here to really make this fully customizable. So if we hit this little waffle menu button here, I can add different apps, different widgets, different programs, things like that. So if I say I did want to add a widget, one that I really like to add for customers is the supply information widget. So if I hold down on this and then bring it out here to the home screen, it's as easy as that. So we're going to be able to see where our toner levels are at all times. So the first interface that I want to get into is just showing you your copy interface. So this is what that's going to look like. So typically we can default to auto color. Otherwise, if you do want to restrict color in your office, we can most certainly do that by restricting or defaulting to black and white. We have our copy ratio here. So if we select this, I'm going to hit others. That way I can see all of my options. So this would be if we wanted to do any reducing or enlarging. So say, for example, we had an 8.5 by 11 here in the tray that we wanted to blow up to an 11 by 17. You have these preset conversions here and these percentages, which is nice, but the easiest thing to do that Ricoh by design has added is putting in this fit the paper size. So if we just select that, now we can actually choose that 11 by 17 tray. So because I hit that fit the paper size, it's going to be doing the aspect ratio of the image for me. It's going to be doing all the work. So it's going to be blowing up to that 11 by 17. Same thing with reducing. If we had our 11 by 17 up here in the document feeder and we wanted to shrink this down to an 8.5 by 11, because I hit that fit the paper size, it's going to be doing the reducing for me. Anytime I hit reset, it just deselects everything I've selected so far and goes back to my defaults. Your quantity is here. If you have a larger size job and you don't want to just keep hitting this plus, you just tap the number, keypad comes up, and then you would say I have 50 copies, for example. Right here is your paper select. Again, you're going to be set to auto here. Up top, you do have automatic sensors, so it's detecting the size of your original and it's working in tandem with your trays. So if you have an 8.5 by 14, 8.5 by 11, whatever you have in here, it's going to pick up that size and know to pull directly from that tray. So that's where that auto is really coming to help us. Otherwise, we can choose the tray that we want to pull from, or if we want to choose our bypass tray. And then we do have some quick presets here. If we want to go 1 to 2-sided, 2 to 2-sided, if we want to do some combined settings, also if we do have a finisher, we can choose our stapling option there as well. So this is kind of like our main quick copy screen here within the copy interface, and then we do have 4 tabs down here that'll give us some more options. So if we select our original setting, we have our density here so we can manually lighten or darken our document. Our original size, again, is going to be set to auto, but we can also select that we have mixed sizes. So if, for example, we have an 8.5 by 11 and an 8.5 by 14 in the document feeder, and we wanted to keep those in their sizes, we would select mixed sizes. So it's going to allow us to put all of those documents in at once and then pull from the appropriate drawer, keeping them in that 8.5 by 11 and 8.5 by 14. Your original type is here. Typically that'll be set to, or it'll be defaulted to text photo. So picking up whether you have a text, whether you have a photo, but 2 nice options you have in here that Ricoh has added for you is generation copy and light. So if we selected generation copy, that would just be if I have my original, it's really faded, I've printed it, scanned it 50 to 100 times. If I select generation copy and I feed that original through, it's gonna darken and saturate it back to its original state. So you're pretty much just bringing the document back to life. Similar to that would be light, so that would just be if I have any light areas on the document, say somebody wrote in pencil, little areas were hard to see, it would only target those light areas and then darken and saturate that, and it will leave the rest of the document alone. We also have a batch feature here in copy, so batch would be any job that's larger than the document feeder can hold. So for example, this current device that I have here has a 100 sheet document feeder. So if we were doing a job larger than 100 sheets, batch would really come into use and be really helpful, because say I had a 200 page document, if I selected batch, it would prompt me to load my first 100 through, and then it would prompt me to load my next 100 or however many I was doing. I would continue to hit start. I would keep adding to my job. Once you are done, you'll get a finish scan message up here. You select that, and then it'll send the job all off at once. That's really nice in the scanning, because if you are going to do that, you're going to you're gonna build your job here, and it's gonna get sent off as one attachment rather than 5 attachments for the 5 different times you loaded something into the document feeder. And it's also a nice technique to use if you're going back and forth between the scan glass and the document feeder. Your original orientation is here, so if we select this, if we're going to go portrait, we select readable direction. If we want to go in 90 degrees counterclockwise, that's going to be our landscape option. So I hit reset, I came back out here to my home screen of my copy. So we've gone over our original setting. Now if we want to go over our finishing, if we do have that external stacking finisher. So if we select sort and stack, sort is going to be pages 1 through 10, 1 through 10. Stack is going to be pages 111, 222, and rotate sort will actually collate the job. So it's going to separate as it comes out on the output. Our staple function is here. So as we saw earlier, you kind of had those quick presets, but otherwise, if we want to see all of our stapling options, it is in the finishing tab there at the bottom of copy. So Ricoh is also image driven, so you're going to see exactly where that staple is going. Our edit in color. So there's a lot of cool tricks in here, editing features that you probably might not use, but they're here for you. Some of them I like to go over is the stamp feature. So say documentation came without background numbering or it came without a date, you could actually add that straight to the document. So if we select background numbering, we can actually choose, where that numbering starts, the stamp color, and where on our document we want those things to go. Same thing with adding a date. So we could choose where on the document we want our date to go. We could change the format of our date. And we can choose if we want this to go on all pages or just the first page. And then same thing with adding our page numbering. So it's just a nice editing feature that Ricoh has added here for you that allows you to add to your document if they are missing those things already. Another cool thing is if you are scanning books, you do have this erase center border. So what you can do is erase the center, the border, or both. So it's going to get rid of those lines that show up on a book or a pamphlet and make it one complete image. So lastly here in copy, we have our last tab down here, which is our two-sided and combined. So this is just going to give you more options if you are doing a two-sided copy. So again, we saw those presets out there earlier, but if we actually go in here to two-sided and combine, the way that I explain this is our original setting is what do we have here in our document feeder? And our print side setting is how do we want it to turn out. So again, it's nice that Ricoh is image driven here. So if we do have an open right to left document, which is just two-sided, we're gonna be able to see that that's happening there. And then if we wanted to break that off into one-sided, we would say open right to left to one-sided. Or if we wanted to keep it in two-sided, we would say open right to left as well. You also have these combined settings off over here. So if you want to put multiple images or multiple pages on one sheet, you can go up to 8. So I always give the example with a teacher with a PowerPoint. If they wanted to put 8 PowerPoints on one piece of paper, it's kind of like a really nice paper saving technique in order to get all those images on one sheet. So that's going to be pretty much it for copying. The next thing I'm going to be getting into is your scanning option. So I've selected our home button, so I'm back out here on my home screen. So I'm going to select scanner. So when we set you up for scanning, we've either set you up to scanning to email, scanning to a network folder, or both. So we do have this drop down here that allows us to go back and forth between those two. You should be able to see if you are scanning to an email or network folder, your address is populated here so you can select. Not many people know you can select multiples at once. So if you do want to scan to multiple people, you can just choose each person. The way that we get to our settings in scanning is just off over here. We want to select our send settings. And this is going to pull up similar to options to what we just saw in scanning, or excuse me, copying. So we're going to be defaulted to auto color select. That's fine. That's good. It is going to be an electronic scan, so you're not going to get charged for that color count. Our file type will be defaulted to PDF multi-page. That's great for text documents. Otherwise, if we do have any photos or images, we can actually select that we want to reformat here at the device and send them off as TIFF or JPEG. So it's going to actually be doing that reformatting for you if you so please. Your resolution is here. So typically set to 200 dpi. That's fine for text documents. Otherwise, if I want to hit others and see all my options, I can go all the way up to 600 dpi. DPI is dots per inch, so that's just giving you more resolution on the image. So again, if that's something I do have a photo or a picture with, I can get more resolution on this image. Our original settings is here. So this is where we can select and tell whether we have two-sided in our document feeder when we're going to scan. So typically you can be defaulted to one-sided, or we can select two-sided open right to left. So it's gonna be opening like that booklet. Our scan size, we're gonna leave set to auto detect. Our file name, this is nice because we can actually change the name of our file. So instead of getting that attachment in our email or our network folder with those randomized numbers, we can actually, go ahead and name this file name, and we're gonna know what that attachment is when we go to open it on our computer. Again, your density is here, so you can manually lighten or darken your document. Your orientation, same thing. If it's readable direction, it'll be portrait. If it's 90 degrees counterclockwise, it'll be landscape. Your sender is the copier, so we don't need to worry about that. Since in this case we are scanning to an email, we can add a subject, and we can also add a body of text. Your scan ratio is here, so again, we can do that reducing and enlarging. Also our erase center or border, so if we are scanning a book, we can get rid of those center lines or bordering lines to make it one complete image. New to Ricoh on these IM series is delete blank page. This is a great feature because if I just check this and select this, if I'm scanning and I have one and two-sided documents going in, it's gonna know to skip the blank sides of those one-sided documents. So I don't need to get to my computer, open up that document and delete those blank pages out. It's gonna do it right here on the device for me. Again, you have your stamp option in case you want to add your date or your page numbering. Same thing with your batch. If you are doing that scan and you want to do that job build and send off as one attachment, all you do is just check your batch. Pretty much the opposite of batch would be divide. So if I had, for example, 20 pages going in my document feeder and I knew that every 5 sheets I wanted it to be a separate attachment, I would just say divide every 5 sheets. So that's nice because if I have invoices, for example, say I have 10 pages of invoices and I know that every 2 sheets is going to be a separate invoice, I'm able to put all those invoices in at once, and it's going to separate them here at the panel for me. So when I go back to my desktop, I'm going to have all my invoices separated, and I didn't have to put them in 2 by 2 by 2. I could put them in at once. So that's going to be pretty much it for scanning. The last thing that I want to go over with this device is your document server. So on the Ricohs comes a hard drive that you can actually upload any fillable documents right here at the device. So I always use this, for example, HR, if they want to have their W-9 forms, or if you have your fax cover sheets laying off here to the side, rather than having those papers just laying off to the side, we can actually choose to upload them here into the panel and save them here at the copier. So the way that we would do that is I'll go back in here to our document server. So you're gonna have 2 options within this. You have your 2 scanning screen and you have your 2 printing screen. We're gonna select that after we've already uploaded and saved our document into this device, but for now we wanna go to our scanning screen, and that way we can scan something in to the hard drive. So the first thing that I wanna do now is create a new folder. Name that folder. And we'll name this test. And we'll hit OK. You can passcode protect this in case that it is anything confidential. So I'm going to go to my scanning screen, and then this is going to be a little bit of an older interface on the document server of what your scanning will look like. So you do have the same options that I just went over with you in scanning. So for now, I'm just going to default this to auto color select. I'm going to leave my paper on auto paper select. I'm going to keep it at full size. So from here, all I'm really gonna need to do now is choose the folder that I want to save to. So I'll go back out just to slow down and show you that again. So this is the folder that I wanna save this document to. So we're gonna put this in our test folder. We're gonna hit OK, and then the last thing that we wanna do is name this file. So I'm gonna select file name, and I'm gonna call this test1. Okay, so now from here, all I'm going to do is scan my document through. So we have our document. We're going to put it up here in the document feeder. We've chosen our folder. We've changed our file name. So all we're going to do is just hit start. It's going to scan that document through and then save it right here on the hard drive. So now that we're done, that's saved to that folder. So I'm just going to back out. Go back in here to my document server. This is my test folder. This is my test1 that I just scanned in. Now I can go to my printing screen. Now I can change any options that I want to do. So if I want to put this on a different size sheet, or if I want to make it two-sided, or if I want to add some finishing options, I can absolutely do that. But otherwise, if I just wanted to, say I wanted to print out 2 copies of this, I just hit start, and then it's going to print exactly what I scanned in. So as you can see, it's actually saved that document directly to the hard drive. So really, that's everything I wanted to go over with you now during this training period. If you do have any questions, feel free to reach out. You do have this supplies and service number on the front of your device that will know whether to dispatch you to a technician if needed, or to a trainer's email. So there's 3 other trainers on staff. If you do have any questions, where's my two-sided at, where there's options he kind of showed me in training, we'll be able to reach out to you and just give you a quicker response time. So if you do have any questions, feel free to reach out, and we'd be happy to help you.